Today I'm going to give you tips and tricks to push your progress in exploration, and these are things that experienced players might know, but new players would find incredibly valuable. I would know because I literally just created this account and I've been playing for the last 3 weeks. I'm up to 48 million power. Yes, I've been whaling on this account. However, regardless of your level of spend, these tips and tricks are going to apply to push your progress in exploration. So consider subscribing if you're interested in guides to help you push value in the early game, and let's talk about exploration and Whiteout Survival. The reason you should care about this is based on your level of progress, you're going to be able to just claim passive rewards. And these passive rewards are really important. It includes, as you can see, ticking up every second, hero experience. It includes steel, which is a required resource, by the way, for doing research. And also I'm getting hero gear, which most of this I'm not going to equip to my heroes. I'm going to use it as fodder to level up their gear. Okay, now that's not something that you get at the start of the game, but it is something that you do gain access to. So I'm going to obtain these rewards for now, and let's talk about how it is that you push progress in this game mode. The way this works is pretty simple, as I'm sure you've already seen. You're going to line up a team to go battle a opposing team that's controlled by NPCs, okay? And you're going to try to win stage after stage after stage, with the difficulty increasing ever so slightly every single time. And when it comes to what you decide to bring, my strong recommendation is going to be 2 infantry on your front line, and then some combination of lancers and marksmen on your back line. We'll talk more about composition and how to sort of maximize your heroes in just a little bit, but I've reached a stage where I don't think I can push any further anymore. Now, before we even get into all the optimizations for ways to improve your heroes, etc., one thing you can do is just switch where you have things located. So, for example, I could put Molly in the middle, and maybe that will be better, or maybe Molly will be better on the right. These sorts of changes, I have found, surprisingly enough, end up getting me a better result sometimes. I could even potentially switch where my front line is and see if that changes the result. So I'm just going to hit start here. I already know that I pretty much can't beat this level because it's too difficult. And so we'll talk about the things you can do at that point, after you've just tried moving your heroes around, to see how you can improve your result. And oh my gosh, wait a minute. Am I going to get this? Wait a minute. Case and point. Move around your front line, move around your back line, and you might actually just win. That is actually insane and completely unplanned for this video, that I literally took my own advice. I thought I'd already done a lot of that and still found a new combo that actually helped me get further. That's amazing. Case and point, baby. So, presumably, and on my own time, I'll get stuck, okay? And when I get stuck, what can I do to hit harder in this game mode? There's several things we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about hero levels. We're going to talk about hero skills. And there's a bunch of things we need to get a look at, including even hero gear. So let's go back to my city here, and let's get a look at heroes, okay? I'm 3 weeks into my server's life. I'm Furnace level 30 at this point, so I've progressed a lot. However, there's a bunch of things you can work with to improve your punching power. One of the most important things is simply leveling up your heroes. Now, I covered this in a separate video about the drill camp, which becomes available to you, I think, around Furnace 13 or 15, wherein you can level up heroes, and your 5 highest level heroes can increase the level of all of your other heroes to be up to the minimum level of these 5. In other words, okay, if all these heroes were 70 and one was 69, all my other heroes that I've selected to go here will be level 69 too. So the long story short of this is you're going to pick 5 heroes and power level those heroes. And don't worry, if you already leveled the wrong ones or ones that you're not happy about, you could always just level reset. Like if you leveled up 10 different heroes, level reset, then only work on 5. Level resets are free, costs you literally nothing here. I think you can do it once per day per hero. Anyways, you're going to get your heroes, you're going to max their level. Why does the level matter? Well, you'll notice that when a hero battles in the exploration game mode, they have little troops that go with them. They're escorts. And the number of escorts they have is based on the level of the hero. At level 5, you get an additional escort. At level 10, you get an additional escort. And then you get them at every 10 levels, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then 70. At 80, I believe there are no new escorts. So 10 escorts is the max here. Leveling up gets you more escorts, which is definitely a big deal. Now, in addition, leveling up does more for you. In fact, to show you this, let's see here. I might want to just grab some hero XP with a few gems. Wouldn't normally recommend this, but here we go. Let's just do this real quick. Okay. When I level up this hero, he is going to gain some stats. And the stats that we really care about are in the exploration category. Now that includes hero attack, defense, and health. The escort attack, defense, and health. More stats is obviously better. So we can see here that when I level him up, he gained a bunch of those things. And you can see the stats are now larger than they were before. Of course, there are other ways to boost the stats of a hero. One of them is to increase their snowflake level, or star level. The star level, you can see the buffs that they get off to the right-hand side here. It is giving a ton of super relevant buffs in the exploration game mode, also in the expedition game mode. Expedition is where you are battling on the map. Exploration is obviously relevant to the exploration game mode we were showing you, and also the arena. Now, in addition to levels and stars, there also are skills. The exploration skills are what the hero is going to do when you're in that game mode. It's the special effects they're going to bring. So Geronimo, as an example, launches enemies in the target area into the air, following up with 3 slashes, dealing attack 224% based on the level of the skill that I have. The level of each of these skills is going to be capped based on your hero star level. So at 4 stars, I unlocked the ability to take the skill to level 5. At 3 stars, I unlocked the ability to take his skills to level 4. At 2 stars, I unlocked the ability to take his skills to level 3. You get the idea, okay? So as an example, if I wanted to take this skill on Jasser higher, I can't. He's got to be 4 stars to get a level 5 skill. That's true of both sides of the equation, the exploration skills and the expedition skills, okay? So the skills are super relevant, and some are definitely better than others. As an example, on Geronimo, yes, I think his skills, they're going to matter, obviously, but in my estimation, I feel like I'm getting the majority of my damage out of my Molly. So in my perfect world, I would prioritize her skills, pushing damage rather than other things. So you can read what each of these skills do. I'm not going to go over every single one of them now, but you'll want to push the level of these skills in order to push your progress. Now, once you reach a high enough furnace level, I believe it's 15, you unlock hero gear. And hero gear is the sort of next evolution of your journey for powering up your hero. Now, hero gear you'll unlock in a variety of ways, including from exploration, and it gives you stats. Some of those stats are for the exploration game mode. That's hero attack, health, the escort attack, and health. And some of these are for the sort of expedition, okay, which would be infantry lethality. That's when you're battling in the sort of map, the open world. That's where you see those take place. And as you level up your furnace, you'll get other options for powering up your equipment. We don't need to go too much more in depth into that now. That is just entirely a separate video that I will go and make at some point. Consider subscribing. So there are several different tiers of rarity of equipment. In fact, if I look, probably have some gear. Oh, no gear here. Okay, let's talk about that. There's mythic gear, there's the purple gear, blue gear, there's green gear, and there's gray gear. Pretty much you want to advance through your gear very quickly toward the mythic tier of gear. And you can reset gear's level at no cost, which is a huge win. Just be careful. What you cannot reset is the additional enhancement that I've done here, which is kind of wild, using these essence stones. It's the mastery forging. I think you eat a cost on those, but you can reset the level of a piece of gear for free. So for the purpose of exploration, I've sort of built out 5 sets. I don't want to go too in depth on the number of sets of equipment you should try to build out, but I'll say this, the common guidance is that you should build 3 primary sets of equipment and certainly put something onto the other heroes that you're bringing into the game mode. Why is it that you want to focus just 3 sets of equipment, even though there's 5 heroes? Is that ultimately when you battle in the world, which is really important, by the way, especially if you are one of the top players in your server or alliance, right? Like you're only bringing 3 heroes. Oh, I have all my marches out. GG. Right? You can only bring 3 at a time, which means you need 3 sets of equipment. Now, those 3 sets of equipment, you're going to have 1 for each troop type. 1 infantry, 1 marksman, 1 lancer. And so your prioritization there is getting one of those up and running for each troop type, and you take advantage of that in exploration. Now, if you really wanted to do extremely well and push even further, I can show you the #1 player in our arena, which has gameplay just like exploration, okay? It's literally just like exploration. If I were to hit this real quick, you can see it's the same style of play. You pick all the, heroes in just the same way. This dude has got a ton of power. And why does he have a bunch of power? It is in part because he's got gear on 5 marches, okay? And that gear is actually leveled up and has mastery level. Now, I, in my opinion, think that this is a fine way to prioritize arena progression. If what you want to do is prioritize, open field, rally, and garrison captain progression, you would just focus in on 3 and push, again, those 3 as far as you possibly could, right? But what I will also point out here is there's another piece of equipment that we have not talked about yet. And on legendary heroes only, there is a thing called a widget. We go to the gear, the widget is shown right over here. It's exclusive to this hero. The cool thing about hero gear is you can take it off and put it onto another hero, except the widget. Now, the widget is incredibly powerful, but when you advance to new generations of heroes, your widgets stay behind on your older heroes, and, well, your other gear will come with you. So let's talk about what a widget does really quickly, okay? This has gear stats that we talked about as being super relevant for exploration. Hero attack, defense, and health. Escort, attack, defense, and health. Remember, the escorts are the little troops that come with your hero, okay? The infantry lethality and health, those are for the sort of broader map gameplay. But then there's also exclusive skills. The 2 skills here, one is going to be for exploration. That's what we care about for the exploration game mode. And then expedition is when you're out on the map, like we were talking about. So these are much more difficult to obtain. And the number of these items that you need, widgets, goes up by 5 for each level. So to get to level 8, I need 40. To get to level 9, I need 45. Starting out, I only needed 5 to unlock it, 10 to get to level 2, 15, I believe, to get to level 3. And it just goes up, then up and up and up, okay? These are really nice to get for your progression with your heroes and are very, very powerful, obviously, because they're bringing not only the stats, but new skill. And a new skill is a big, big deal, man. In this particular instance, what is my gain? For exploration, when attacking Geronimo's sword, energy forms a shield, reducing damage received by 25%. Yeah, 25% less damage received is obviously a big deal. Right? For a tank, hello? So that is a major way to sort of push your progress, all right? So where does this leave us with all the ways to push your progress in exploration? In exploration, optimizing your hero levels, your hero gear, and your hero skills for exploration goes a long way. And you get the benefit not only for this game mode, for the passive recovery of goodies, but also for the arena. Now, arena is entirely a separate video. I will cover that, so consider subscribing to the channel. And this, by the way, is a pretty good place to get the custom Mythic Hero Gear chest. This is the one most important thing from this shop. And I have a lot of currency in the upper right because I've been doing a lot of winning. Now, at this point, I don't think I have a good enough team to continue the winning, but second place, I'll take it, baby. I'll take it. It ain't bad. All right. Other things that we can talk about. Well, I'll say this, to my knowledge, things like research isn't going to help you in exploration. The main, and your hero, or rather your chief gear, to my knowledge, the chief gear, chief charms, like none of this stuff that you get later on helps to my knowledge with exploration. If it does, definitely let me know. We're literally a day away from the stage of the Hall of Chiefs where I can spend chief gear stuff and get points. I cannot wait. I am going to push a lot there. I have so much saved up, but whatever. I'll probably cover that in a separate video. All right. I'm cruising, hopefully on my way to second place. That's the goal. I got first place last time. If I get second place this time, that means I can take Geronimo up in star level to the max number of stars without getting to VIP 12, which is kind of nice. But that reminds me, one last way to improve your strength, and that we talked about in this video, is to improve the star level. Okay, another great way. But if you have any other tips or tricks for exploration, definitely let me know down below in the comments. Right? There's only so many things you can work with. Once you've got your heroes leveled up in a sort of decent spot, you got the max number of escorts, level 70, right? At that point, you can start to play around with like different combos, I suppose. And one thing I'll add is that I find area of effect damage to be very powerful compared to single target damage. As an example, I was using Bahiti, a single target damage dealer. I switched to Gina, who does a small amount of AoE damage. That amount of damage is pretty small. Maybe Jessie is really good with her AoE damage. I'm going to have to play around with those and figure it out. With regard to sort of a new player team, if you're a big spender, what I've done over here is a really good composition. If you are a light spender or free to play, then if you don't have Natalia, and certainly you wouldn't have Geronimo, for frontline, you're looking at Sergei, who's just awesome, right? And you would potentially be looking over here for 2 infantry on your front line. And then your back line, I would hope that you're able to get some amount of Zinman, quite frankly, because, dude, his construction cost reduction is so good. But if you didn't have Zinman, you're looking at either Jessie for AoE or Bahiti. I think Jessie's probably the pick. Gina, I think, is a great pick. And Molly, you should be getting from gold keys. So I think a decent free-to-play lineup would look something like that. It is possible that your Bahiti just ends up with way more star level than your Molly does, and you find that it performs better. You're going to have to test it and see. But the reason that I've got Molly in this lineup, and I'm very happy with her performance, in fact, I'd say she's the MVP of the team, is because of the area of effect damage. Right? And I'll play through this and I'll show it to you one more time. And you can see like, oh, that's what he's talking about. The AoE damage is insane. Now, I've got this running on auto. Theoretically, you could run this on manual and you might get a better result. But just like watch that snowball Molly damage and it's just totally nuts. Here it is. Boom. I like took out almost the entirety of that backline. There it is again. Boom. Oh, and I win. Following my own advice. Switch around the composition, even unintentionally, and you might be able to progress further. Today is kind of a cool day, to be perfectly honest, because it's the Hall of Chiefs where I got to work on hero gear. So being able to push my hero gear and my hero widget and get points for that was a big, big deal. I'm going to run this one like this. Patrick is really cool. He, keep your eye on Patrick. He could be a really good addition as well to a team. He does a bunch of healing, I believe. Oh, but he's not having a good showing of it here. Molly's just the all-star, man. I don't know if there's actually like a damage number at the end of this that I could look at, but if there was, I would bet you that Molly does the real legwork of pushing out these Ws. Now, here you can see the opposing Molly there. And what I do find is that the AoE damage, if there's not something right in front of you to hit, tends to go like, well, I don't know. Actually, Molly is shooting kind of in front of her. Every now and then, it'll shoot all the way across from one far corner to another. But look at this. Even at a massive power differential here, I'm actually pushing progress, and I got a custom hero epic chest. Dude, that's awesome. Oh, and I have it set to auto, so it runs automatically. Okay, this is fine. As long as Molly does her job, oh, we are going to cook these guys, bro. The infantry lasting that long. Oh, Oh, Molly almost used her skill. Didn't get it done. GG. Now, from what I'm told, look, this guide is designed for new players, but from what I'm told, certain heroes are not going to make it through to the next generation. So I think in the next gen, for exploration, Gen 2, I think we're benching Zinman, and I think we're benching Gina. But Molly, as I understand, Molly, Geronimo, and Natalia should still be here. I don't know what that means for the infantry in the new gen, though. I feel like most people are going to end up using them, including maybe me, to be determined. And this time it was a little bit rough. I might actually, I'm going to need to change around the order, and maybe I get the win, maybe I won't. But I think I've given you some ideas here on how you can push your progress, all right? And you see, they tell you, enhance your heroes, recruit more heroes, or change the lineup. And change the lineup is the lowest effort, right? I'll do it one more time just to show you. This is the lowest effort, maybe you get a better result thing that you can possibly do. Switch your front line, switch your back line. Hopefully you're big chillin', all right? If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see another guide about, gosh, what do I want to give you? Ooh, I did way worse here. Bro, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. If you want to see a guide for expedition, specifically joining rallies and defeating the bear, which is how you get your hero gear essence stones, by the way. Really big deal. Check the card in the end screen. That's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to go back to messing around with this, switching around the order. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.